Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Brent back with you. Hey, I want to make a video today in light of it being Armed Forces Day, and I know baseball is still recognizing the brave men and women who serve in our armed forces, and I wanted to thank each and every one of you, all 12 of you that might watch this video who have or are serving in or have family like me who are serving currently in the armed forces. I want to thank you for your service and for your commitment to our military. I'm going to do a video today on a couple of real American badasses who just also happened to play baseball. So let's turn this camera around and let's check them out. All right. All right, so my first American badass that I want to highlight is probably someone you've never heard of. His name's Bert Shepard, and he was a pitcher for the Washington Senators. He made his debut for the Senators on August 4th, 1945. His last major league appearance, August 4th, 1945. That's right, he played in one game. He had a no decision. He had an earned run average of 1.69, and he struck out 2. There is a reason he only played in one game. You see, Bert Shepard pitched for the Senators after having had his right leg amputated after his fighter plane was shot down in Germany during World War II while serving as a pilot for the Air Force. He was gunned down east of Hamburg on his 34th mission as a P-38 fighter pilot. While confined in a German POW camp, he learned and taught himself how to walk and then to pitch while using an artificial leg. Now, there's no cards for this guy. That's another reason probably you've never heard of him. But I was able to find online on eBay a couple of autographed pictures of him that I had to jump on because I knew of this guy's story, but knew I wasn't able to collect him. But when I saw these, I jumped on it. So here's the first picture. Bert Shepard. He passed away in 2008. And the caption below says, "Even with a wooden leg, Bert could pitch, run, and hit. Here he warms up for the Washington Senators." I'll set that there for a second. You can take a look at Bert. So on February 21st, 1945, Shepard was back in the United States and hoping to resume his pitching career. Prior to the war, he had pitched for minor leagues all across the country. So during spring training in 1945, he impressed Senator owner Clark Griffith enough to be hired as a pitching coach. He pitched exhibition games here and there in batting practice, as well as one regulation game, the game that I just mentioned, making him the first man with an artificial leg to pitch in a Major League Baseball game. He got the call on August 4th, 1945, to enter in the fourth inning of a home game in which the Senators were well behind the Boston Red Sox. It was Game 2 of Washington's fourth consecutive doubleheader, with a fifth scheduled the next day as well. He made headlines for not only being in the game itself, but also for his 5 1/3 innings of impressive relief, allowing only 3 hits and 1 run. He struck out the first batter he faced. The final score was Red Sox 15, Senators 4. In between the games of a doubleheader later in that month on August 31st, Shepard received the Distinguished Flying Cross and the Air Medal for his service in World War II. And I have a second picture that showcases that moment. Teammates admire the Distinguished Flying Cross awarded to Shepard during a colorful home plate ceremony. And there's his autograph as well right there. So this is Bert Shepard, somebody maybe you've never heard of, but he actually pitched in one game with an artificial leg. Clark Griffith, for all of his faults, was an amazing owner for the Washington Senators and then Minnesota Twins. And I respect him for giving this gentleman an opportunity to live out his dream and to show respect and for the sacrifice and bravery that he showed as a pilot who was gunned down, lost his leg, and interned in a POW camp in World War II. There's Bert Shepard. So my second American badass also happens to be a Washington senator. What are the odds of that? This one I'm highlighting is Newton Michael Mickey Grasso. And I'll start off by showing his 1953 tops. There's Mickey Grasso. He was a catcher and a veteran of World War II. And backing up, he had played only one season in the minor leagues when he enlisted in the United States Army in January 1942, 6 weeks after the attack on Pearl Harbor. So, like many young men, after the attack on Pearl Harbor, they felt compelled and duty called to enlist in the military to serve their country. He rose to the rank of technical sergeant and was assigned to the 34th Infantry Division when he was later taken prisoner in Tunisia during the North African Campaign. He was eventually interned in a POW camp in Germany, 68 miles southeast of Berlin. In the waning days of the war, in April 1945, as he was being marched westward by his captors, Grasso was one of 10 Allied prisoners who escaped German custody and the invading Soviet Red Army and was rescued by American troops. So that's right, he escaped a POW camp. This dude is a regular Great Escape. Steve McQueen, badass. And then here is also his 1953 Bowman color. So this guy escaped a POW camp. And I love the almost blaseness of the back of this card and the biography it says. It's kind of hard to read behind the facsimile autograph, but it says, Newt got his nickname because of his strikingly resemblance to Mickey Cochran. That's the other Hall of Fame catcher. I guess he looked a lot like Mickey Cochran. He played his first pro ball game for Trenton in 41. During the war, Mickey was captured by the Germans and had to make a remarkable comeback in weight and health to resume his baseball career. So, no mention that, he kind of escaped from a POW camp. Maybe that was just kind of, what you did back then. I just think this is an amazing, amazing story that should be told. So his career was from the New York Giants. He played with the Giants in 1946, and then he played with the Senators from 50 to 53, with the Indians in 54, and then finished his career again with the New York Giants in 55. He was selected by the Senators in the 1949 Rural 5 draft. He spent 5 seasons with the Senators. His career high batting average was that year, and it was 287. After 4 seasons with the Senators, he was traded to the Indians. He got to play in the 1954 World Series against the New York Giants, and he finished his career in 1955. He was known for his fiery temper and was one of the Senators' most popular players in the 1950s. Mickey Grasso passed away in 1975. So here are 2 gentlemen that are American badasses that also happened to play baseball. So as we wrap up Armed Forces Day, I wanted to give a shout out and remembrance and thankfulness to these brave 2 men and what they meant to their country. And also, they played baseball. So take care, everyone. Hope you're having a good one. Catch you later.